here we are diving in for a first-time guest over here who's been in the comments over here, but I've been over there. Welcome, Randy, founder of the Graveyard Club podcast.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Chris, I feel like this one is a little bit overdue. I think you've been on my show maybe 10 times, possibly even more. So I'm excited.
Well, it's been a good time every time, and let's do that as an origin point then. So, as no surprise, I'll watch around on YouTube different horror related things, and then I saw your shorts come up, and I've seen your longer format stuff also, and then via Reddit. So your Reddit screen name isn't Native Randy, so I'm like, here's an invitation to come hang out in the Graveyard Club. And we'll get into many things about the Graveyard Club, its history and its members and all that. And then, so when I jumped into the Discord, I'm like, oh, it's you. So I was like, oh, great, I landed in a really good spot.
Yeah, man. Like the time the Discord came up, if we're gonna go deep into the history, the Discord is that like the third part of the Graveyard Club. As I said to you before, Chris, in the DMs, I feel like my show has been plagued with bad luck throughout the years. Like it's the show started in 2022, so it's 4 years old, and we've just about over maybe 75, 76 episodes, which isn't a lot. So I can go all the way back to the start, and don't know, just me and an old co-host really like talking about old movies. And we just said, hey, maybe we'll just get a little cheap microphone, share it, and we'll just upload it to Spotify. And we've done maybe, Chris, maybe like them first few episodes, I think they were only maybe about 40 minutes, half hour long. And we were both highly intoxicated on alcohol. So that's how a lot of them came out. And if you go back and listen to them now, they're not great. But we were about 3 or 4 episodes in, and the network picked us up. The network was called the Deluxe Edition Network, and this introduced me straight away to other podcasts, other like-minded people throughout the internet. And yeah, we kind of leveled up there a little bit. We both got individual microphones. Then, like, there was bits of drama within this network, so it ended up being shut down. So we went out on our own again. And then I lost that co-host, invited a new co-host in. So this was kind of the start now of the Discord era, Chris. And
go, keep going.
No, just like I'm just like goes back to my point. Like this show has been plagued since its inception, man. And I only feel like it's getting on its feet the last maybe since the Discord came in.
Well, since the Discord, again, I'm privileged. I'm having a great time when I'm able to do both. So let's say there's 2 features. I mean, there's a lot of features, but for the purposes of our conversation right now, there's 2 features. There's the conversation in Discord, and then there's using Discord as the vehicle to conduct the podcast. Mm-hmm. And so, again, as it shows here, you've going back to, as you're saying, in 2022, you've had a variety of different movies come up. I think I had jumped in through the Mummy feature as you were prepping for the Lee Cronin Mummy movie to be theatrically released. And then there was a bit of a zombie theme running. And then we'll come up to current as we go through the conversation here. But it's an excellent I don't know if I want to say a rogues gallery, but it's an excellent cast of contributors. The clubhouse, if you will, is full of great personalities.
Like, the Discord is brilliant. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it was all original. This is kind of modeled off. The Discord is kind of modeled off something I've seen before. And yeah, the original idea was I was basically the unlucky part of the podcast. I just kept losing co-hosts. So the third time around, I said, right, I'm making a Discord, but I'm not gonna call it the Graveyard Club Discord because I don't feel like my show's not that big enough. And 2, I think it's a little bit egoish. So just the classic horror fans Discord, and members can then have the choice if they want to jump up on a certain show. And I just like the whole kind of casual feel to Discord. People can come in and even listen. They don't even have to speak. They can drop out. They can drop in and say a couple of things. So I want to kind of embrace that within our Discord. And hopefully down in the future, when other people do their own podcasts, their own shows, they can do it from that Discord. And I can jump on it up on it. You could, Chris. You know, it's all a bit of a community thing.
I may try to stretch my legs, and instead of doing a StreamYard or a live stream, I may try to jump in having Discord as the production house. So that would be really cool. Let me say earlier, so we did a little reschedule, and I want to acknowledge Michaela Stormer had put a comment in the previous show that we had to delete and run in. So thank you, Michaela, for jumping in comments. Animals and Legos usually likes to be a mysterious question asker. Is yellow a cat? So I'm not at all sure what Animals and Legos is asking with yellow being a cat, but that's part of the being live is weaving in the different things. So as we're saying, there's a lot of good times, a lot of good conversation to be had.
Yeah.
In the Discord. So let me come back over here. And again, so I think this is either my first time, and then sometimes we peek over to the side. Yeah, an image up. Okay, so again, so could you speak on how do you pull your thumbnail, or what is your assembly process to get your image? For example, this image where it says The Mummy Podcast Review.
Okay, this is an interesting one, Chris, because I do every single thumbnail that you've seen on the channel. I've actually done it on my phone. There's a free app called Photon. So that's one where I would put the pieces, I would put the text and the picture of, say, Boris Karloff there towards the backdrop. So it's just like a canvas app. And I'm going to say something a little bit controversial, but I use ChatGPT. So I would take the poster of the mummy, and I would put it into ChatGPT, and all I'd say was like take the mummy title away from the picture, so I just have the text. I would put the text on a blank background drop. I'd do the same thing with a picture of Boris Karloff there. I would separate him from the picture that I originally got him from and put it onto a new picture. So I'm only using really AI in kind of like as a tool. Like, it's not an AI like completely generated picture. So, and a lot of them, especially around the mummy times, a lot of them came out quite bad as well. I think it was the mummy's course, and I look back at it now, man, I feel like I ruined the podcast how bad the clip was. So what I've done now, they're just more kind of, there's a picture of the movie that we're talking about, so they kind of look a little bit more uniform. So, but yeah, to answer your question though, Chris, I'm going off a little bit here. To answer your question though, yeah, basically just use my phone to do all the thumbnails, and it's quite easy.
Well, that
like it's they're not that technical. Like I could be doing a lot better, I feel.
Well, I mean, don't let me tell you how to conduct your own thumbnail. But I mean, to me here, the shadow and lighting, the colors pop. To me, by however you got there, it's a well-established destination that you arrived at for that one, and for those that followed and those that came before.
And well, another thing that I've actually been experimenting with the last while, if anyone, Chris, I'm sure you're familiar, but anyone that's been listening to the channel, the intros to all the podcasts, whatever movie the episode's on, I would create like a little intro kind of based around that, and I'd have like your name coming in, Fiend's name coming in, Brian's name coming in kind of a cinematic way. So and that's done by using CapCut. A lot of like TikTokers use this app to make like their little TikToks, but like it's actually good for making little intro videos with title cards. So that's another one to look into, Chris.
And I like to mix it up again with the media asset feature, and then also be a little bit lower tech, just to hold up a screenshot. Yeah. So right there it is. And so you're listing Brian Croy Dragon, and Brian has such a knowledge base, like his depth of knowledge.
Yeah,
it is long, wide, and deep. Brian knows his stuff. For that show on that night, Joe, I think Joe jumps in more selectively. Zontar.
Zontar is the local classic Discord fans Discord like comedian. I feel like he's one of the funniest people in the Discord.
And then
Good.
I just, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's a specific delivery. It's not like, hey, here comes a joke. It's just the comment, the concept is slid in, and then you're like, wait a minute, that is ridiculously funny. So Zontar is a great contributor. Let's see, other people. Titan has been in there, and the Sofubi samurai people have come around. We got another comment. Let's see what's in the comment. Oh, it is Brian himself. Brian, we've been appreciating your knowledge. And let me take this moment to say, I wanted to do a bit of a series here. I wanted to talk to native Randy first, but there, and assuming, we all have schedules and we all have things, but I want to make a future open invite to anybody and everybody from the Discord who wants to jump in. I know Fiend Without a Face, who's geographically not too far from me, and just the whole, everybody who takes club membership in the clubhouse. I want to do a future time where it's just open over here to hang out. But again, we all have channels, and we all have, or most of us, I should say, have channels, and most of us have things that are cooking. But anyway, so very good. I just wanted to make that clear that I'm looking to again have future conversations with all the cast of characters.
Yeah, just add a comment on Brian. Yeah, Brian does amazing work on the channel. Sometimes like when me and Brian, it's just me and Brian on the panel. Me and Brian talk about fucking everything with the movie. It's a good time to kind of dissect the movie. If anyone's like after seeing the new Odyssey, go and check out the one that we've done from the 90s, the TV mini series. Talks about everything on that. So yeah, Brian is perfect for giving that like literature background, source material background, but he also knows about the movies as well. So yeah, it's great having him over there. And along with, as you said, Fiend Without a Face, he is a real distinctive voice. So you can almost, and I didn't start this originally as this, but like you could almost view the hosts as in me, you, Brian, Fiend, Titan, as like characters, because like the names are kind of outlandish. People have different looks, different voices. It's just interesting the way it's after like coming together. I think the Discord.
And I often like to make the comparison, like my dad in his youth would have, and I never met these guys. They were part of his comings and goings before, but he had like guys that would be given the moniker of Healthy Baby and Herman the German and Snooky and on. So now it's always an extra layer of appreciation for me to have, screen names and monikers that are, on par with that. Brian has to say, don't turn down your nose just because it was made for TV. Sometimes television adaptations are superior to their theatrical counterparts. Yep. Well stated, Brian. And then let me jump up just for this comment here. Sven Gooley, News Times is saying Blob 58 or 88. I just want to give a quick response to that comment. Honestly, I've not seen 88, so I know 58 is a classic. You got Steve McQueen in there, so I am by default not able to answer the question. I have reverence for the 1958 movie. I've never seen the 88. Randy, have you seen both of them? Have you seen one of them?
I've seen both without getting into it too much. 58 is king, black and white, the original. You'll never beat the original. 58.
It is tough to beat the originals. I do agree. All right. Also in the cadre on the roster, Invisidaddy, and again, some people might be listening, but so if people have been listening but not viewing, not seeing, we don't know what Invisidaddy looks like. Nope. And that's not because there's an actual, just not because he's got a camera blocked out, but he does a proper replica of the Invisible Man face wrap, And to me, again,
fantastic.
Zontar is funny in a specific way, but just that
Yeah,
somebody is, and
brilliant.
he's not itching at his face as we go on. He's just very cool as a cucumber in his
Yeah,
presentation.
and that the last episode we done was an hour and a half, and he done the whole thing. In visit that he's great.
Right.
He's only on board the last recently enough, but he's been on tons of the shows. Yeah, appreciate him.
So again, it's a good roster of people around there.
And not sorry, Chris. Another thing, just to
please.
one more thing, a little bit about people joining on the Discord and all that. There has been a lot of people that said they would come up on the show that hasn't just yet, and like I'm looking forward to Serpent Trope to jumping on.
Yes.
We're gonna leave it till the end of this show, but me and Chris are gonna announce something for my show on Friday because I actually haven't said it to anyone else in the Discord that it's 100% confirmed. But I'm sure if Brian is watching, he knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's other people that there's another guy called This Pyramid that is looking to jump on as well. There's other people that still haven't came on, and if you listen to this, come on, like definitely come on, because no, like I feel like I feel like the more the merrier with the podcast. I used to go for such like a detailed like review of a movie, and I used to write probably 2 pages of a script to go off, and like it was great. Like just to give my old like my second co-host a shout out, Acidic. He kind of one that made me want to talk about older movies more, made me appreciate them a lot more. And reviews me and him done were beautiful. But I actually kind of like it where we are now, Chris. That it's just more of a talk show style, similar to your stream. It kind of almost has that vibe to it, and I don't know. I think that's working out. To be honest,
Let me come to yeah, I agree. I like having some overlap in the vibe and the atmosphere. Chai Star G, my pal, my often co-host, my contributor, waiting in the other link. Yeah, I had put a comment in the comment to say I had to. So maybe I hope if somebody was stuck over there, I hope they connect the dots, or I hope they'll watch at a later time. It was let me just little behind the scenes. It was on both sides. I was on a Zoom call that ran a little bit long, and then there were other variables also. So we switched from 6:30 or 12:30, if you will, or for our American speakers from the 6:30 or 12:30 a.m. Time slot, depending on the time zone. So that is another element. And let me jump into this side piece of it. So as we know, right there's daylight saving time and this and that. And so that was a thing we learned in I won't say trial by fire, but let's say trial and error that we learned is that the change of time, the change of the clocks happens at a different date in the North America, including United States and Canada, compared to on the other side of the Atlantic.
who would have known, man? And I was even Googling, and it was Googling and ChatGPT, and it wasn't giving me the answers. And all I've seen the live on air channel, the voice channel, like filling up with people, and I'm like, oh man, like because it's the one thing that took me a long time to like get over it. Is the pressure of having like 5 other people on the panel, and if I fuck up, I'm wasting people's times. And I have done that once or twice where I've left people in the channel for probably a half hour, and like that's just not good. That's just not good, man. I'm nowhere near that level to be doing that. You know. So yeah, like that's what I have to appreciate with you, Chris, because you do the live stream thing, and anything can go wrong there. I have to give it like hats off to the live streamers, because I can just go back and edit all the bad stuff out and make it look perfect. Live streaming, you have to be switched on all the time. Yeah, the flow has to be great. Like usually, like I think you have it down to a T, Chris. Like even the guest interviews that you get on have been fantastic. So keep it up, man.
I appreciate the sentiment, and at the same time, to like both sides of the coin. So let's say I'm biased and I'm pro Graveyard Club podcast, so I'm not an objective observer. But I want to say just the way you had inserted clips of the movie with the different voices, the club members, the contributors speaking of the movie. I really like your editing capacity there. And then also as you shift gears or you have a variety of presentations, then other times you through the Discord just put up all the different faces on, except for Visit Daddy's face, which is banded stuff. Well, and you know, well, anyway, so yeah, it's just I like how you're shifting gears between. Okay, I can put out some material in this format. I can put out some material in a different format also.
Well, like 100%. I think the format going forward though will be full video. So if I could break down the podcast in, I break it down in seasons. The first season was with one co-host. The second season was with the other one. Third season's now with all of us. And even though, especially me and you, Chris, like you've done pretty much all of the Mummy movies with me and Brian and Zontair, like that was a great time. They were great. They were great episodes. Like the tricky thing is adding that many clips into a podcast that's going to be over an hour long is obviously the copyright thing. So you can be smart with it. You can. I've read in a few different places, like if you put less than 15 seconds of each clip and spread them around, it kind of bypasses their kind of copyright radar, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I just always wanted to make it into a full video podcast. One for it because the editing is so light. It's nice and handy. Now I am still working on a way to incorporate clips into the video podcast a little bit more. So I'm up for suggestions if anyone else out there knows my podcast and knows how I can make it look even better. Because I as you said, Chris, it's mostly just a Discord window screen at the moment with a nice border going around it. But like, there is ways to make that a little bit spicier. So
Jai starts giving you kudos.
Thanks, man. Like it's not easy, man. And if you don't have any sort of passion for this internet stuff, it's not for you. Do you know what I mean? Like if you appreciate the comment.
Jai started saying I flow like water, like the waters around Galway Bay. That's how we do business around here. So and let me do a little bit of a bridge and a little bit of some quick. So then again, you said you'll have an announcement toward the end. So as a obscure tease reference, I just want to say I'm always my local shop is the Horror House Boys, and from them I discovered the Boris Karloff coffee. Now, many a time it's been asked, what do I really have in the mug or the drink? And sometimes I've even had a leprechaun coffee cup around here, and the live streamers will come in and what do you really have in there? So honest to goodness, I really have and not sponsored by, but just enjoying the product, the Boris Karloff coffee, some real good coffee.
Sweet.
So man. Now let me come around. So I want you sent me the image for the logo, and I took it, and there it is as a T-shirt. So I did want that ready to go before you came on because I wanted to legit have that to set the stage in the background and have it right there. So somewhere you have a merch tab, and you're not all the way up and running with that quite yet, or could you give us a update or work in progress as to how that's going?
Well, it's a TeePublic store, but that's currently available now with outdated designs and to be honest, Chris, like I spent a while, like there was another TeePublic store by somebody complete, like a different user, I don't know who it was, that were selling them logo t-shirts. I might have put it into the Discord at the time, so I had a similar experience with the bootlegging like you guys did. So I finally got that going, got rid of that, and yeah. So what I want to work on now is my own website, and I'll be able to independently ship the orders myself because it's not like hundreds are coming in just yet, Chris. You know, so it could be manageable to do just independently at the start. You know, so that's what I'm looking at doing. And yeah, I told you all the hosts that have been on the show. See, just touch back to the Discord a little bit. Like I wouldn't call anyone from the Discord now like a guest appearance on the show. Like everyone's a host. But I want to back to the t-shirts. I want to give everyone that's been on the show a t-shirt as well. So that's what I'm working on, Chris.
Man, that'll be great. And again, TeePublic is a really good operation. They have affordable prices. So let me do again a couple of things here. And then let me come back to also mention Derek. And is it Monster Kid Radio? I'm
Yep.
messed up. Okay.
Yep.
So Derek is also in with us, and it's a very well established, and it's
Yeah.
awesome to have
Great podcast.
Derek around there. But it's so also picked up from UT Public, not official, maybe in the future, maybe not, but the monsters that made us. So again, I got the Karloff coffee, I got Frankenstein via the monsters that made us t-shirts. So we're just dropping little obscure hints towards what the announcement will be coming towards the end. So now we sort of about how did you start the Graveyard Club? How did you start the podcast? But now if we could go like back to the ultimate origin story, what was your first interest in horror or the monster figures, or did you come in by way of Godzilla? Did you enter the field via King Kong? Was it the universal characters? How did you first cultivate or dive in, pardon the bad pun, into your love of the greater establishment of horror pictures?
Well, it started, Chris. I was always an internet kid, so I spent a lot of time on the internet. But and it's such kind of like not a great answer, but like him, a lot of people in the horror community knows of this guy, and it's James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. He's a filmmaker, film critic, and a YouTuber. So like it was mainly his videos that kind of created my like taste in movies. Obviously I kind of started with like the Friday the 13th movies. They were my kind of forced introduction, which was some of them movies are quite hardcore. And the age, maybe like 11 or 12, I probably shouldn't have been watching these movies. And yeah, and I started from there. As I was watching more stuff about horror movies on the internet, I would continue to buy more of the DVDs. And I don't know, man, I got to a point for a couple of years, all I did is watch horror movies. I just wanted to watch everything that was available to me. And as we talked about before, there's the Region 1 and Region 2 scenario can be quite tough. I want to give a shout out to Fiend Without a Face from the Discord. He's actually sorting me out with Godzilla DVDs, but it's looking very expensive to fucking ship over at the point. So we might just leave it until I get to America next year, or unless he comes over here. But that's it. That's another conversation. But yeah, there's just something about horror movies, Chris, that just take me away from reality to the point where I used to be like a real big video gamer, and I really play a video game now because there's nothing better than sitting back and watching a horror movie to me. And I don't know, like, especially coming online then, thinking I could be some sort of like film critic. Me and my real old co-host were like we just talk about horror movies. We're basically film critics. And it just started from there. The horror community is beautiful. There's some great people on there. And yeah.
Man, that's good. As you're saying that, and again, I have many different thoughts going in many different directions. You had mentioned earlier about the co-host situation, and there's an advantage to having, more hosts, more co-hosts, more people hanging out in the virtual clubhouse. So it's reminded me of it right there. There was a point in time referencing Irish rock musicians where Thin Lizzy had a guitarist make an abrupt departure from stage, and that invented the concept of having dual lead guitars. So in that sense, whether you meant to or not, or we haven't really discussed how much of a aficionado or appreciator of Thin Lizzy you are or not, but you pulled a Phil Lynott right there to have multiple lead guitarists coming around.
Yeah, the whole. I just find it interesting, man. There's not one podcast out there that's doing the similar thing. A lot of podcasts are either now there is some different ones out there, but nobody's kind of doing the whole just a bunch of hosts. Like 1 week there could be 2 people here, the next week there's 4 people, one person's after leaving. The next week it's gigantic and it's 7 people, and you can't keep on a one conversation. And there's people giving out about how we can't stay on point. It's just fun. Like you're definitely not coming to see a fully broke down dissection of a movie on my channel anymore. because it's just a talk show, and like it's more general horror talk, and I don't know, something beautiful and real about that, man. Because I would listen to a lot of horror podcasts, and a lot of them are highly polished. They're heavily scripted, and you can tell they're heavily scripted. Oh, because I used to do myself. If I didn't sound that good in this sentence, I used to delete my sentence and actually record it over. And that's what a lot of these high polished podcasts do. And when you're doing it the way I'm doing it currently, it's just so real, man. You know.
And that's another reason I like to go live myself, because I know I'm trying to record like a review on some figures or some review on anything, and then I trip over my tongue or something. I'm okay, let me start over again. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my 7th, 8th time starting over. So let me just, warts and all, let me work a little bit without a safety net. But again, there's many different ways to arrive at a good conclusion. And then the specific way right now to have a roster as you're describing it is really cool. Now, also, you just mentioned the possibility of you coming stateside sometime in the future. So after you said that in the chat earlier today, then I looked up. So as of this moment, unless something's changed since this afternoon, the G-Fest, the Godzilla Fest, does not have a set date that's been announced yet. And then also close in proximity, as Chai Star and I have talked about, and it's lamentful in oh my gosh, it's too much good stuff going on kind of a way. So also the Flashback Weekend Horror Convention has yet to announce their dates. But just like if a set of stars were aligning, how cool would that be if you were over here and that they were like maybe just 7 days apart between the Godzilla Fest and the Horror Con? That would be a well worth the plane fare and well worth the trip over here.
But man, that would be a dream. Like, could you imagine the live stream we would do over there like that? Like that would be fun, man. So hopefully, I'm not sure. See, this is where I'm clueless now, because I'm not sure how far G Fest would be to, say, the Flashback one that you were talking about, Chris.
They're at the
I'm not
exact
sure
same hotel.
Oh, it's the same place. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, well, then we're good, man. We're good. So all we need to figure out now is how we get Brian from Canada, down here. Need to get Finn down from Detroit. So. So I don't know, man. We could make a party of it. Troy Star is more than welcome as well. By the way, we're all going. We'll make a good weekend over, man. We'll party as well. We won't put that up online though.
Some wishful thinking and future forecasting. As I said, the past, the present, and the future of the Graveyard Club. So hopefully we will see how it all shakes out in the future, and hopefully that the things will align in the best possible ways for the timeline and the calendar and all that stuff. All right. But sometimes it's cool to be able to see a movie on the big screens, but just as good to see it in your personal home entertainment system. I know going back a few weeks, we talked a little bit about, so have there been movies that you've been specific to the horror genre, specific to what we do, that you've been able to see on the big screen? Has that opportunity come your way, or not too often does it come your way?
Not a couple of times a year, maybe, man. Like not as much as I'd like. I'd love to be going like once a week, but the modern horror movies don't really do much for me. And I don't know, like around Halloween time, some of the cinemas play like older classic horror movies, so like, I'll probably go a couple of weeks around October. But no, I'm not a regular theater goer at all, man, because there's just not enough coming out. I went to see The Odyssey a couple of days ago. That was amazing. And then a couple of weeks before that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks before that, I seen Disclosure Day, and they were two fantastic movies. And they make me think, this is why people go to the cinema. This movie's so good. Like, it's just a lot of the new horror movies just don't do too much for me. So I spend most of my time, man, watching older movies at home. I think I get my kick from doing that.
And let me again, as a trying to put some bait on the reel, trying to land the fish. of it. So when Godzilla Fest is occurring at the hotel in Rosemont, then just about a 10, maybe 15-minute drive away, there's the Pickwick Theater is playing at that time, a selection of Godzilla movies. And for me, this past go around, I was able to see the 1976 King Kong. So let me do this briefly. Give a year or so ago, I got to see the original Lon Chaney Wolfman on the big screen, and then even the store for Gwen's store. I'm like, oh my god, the letters on the signs in the store are so big, just everything's so big. But then to see King Kong, so all I'm saying, if things align, that would be an excellent segment or an excellent piece of your journey to be able to include a trip to catch to catch something on the big screen.
Big time, man, because there's nothing really happening here. Me and you have talked about it, Chris. Ireland is not really a great place for this sort of thing. This is why the podcast isn't full of Irish people. It's full of there's more diverse people.
You have to go all the way to all these other time zones and across the ocean and try and your co-hosts. What?
Staying up till all hours at night. But no, here, man, it's been crazy, but like it's been well worth it. I think some people forget in the Discord as well what how the time difference is. Because it is true. If I wanted it, I would have a bunch of Irish podcasters, but I don't know. Like that's what I done with at the start of this podcast. I was actually aiming it for an American audience because I just know the movies that we're going to be talking about. They're going to appreciate it more. Like people over here are not even going to know the movies that we're talking about mostly, but yeah, even you were saying about maybe Godzilla having a little part way into this sort of like community, but no, Chris, like I was really late onto Godzilla, the 60s, really late, which is crazy.
So now here, and I'm always itching to pick up other pieces of Irish culture in that, but over here, right? So there's the horror hosts, and then there'd also be like not the big channels, but like a local TV channel would be running even without a horror host. Sunday matinee, Saturday matinee. So in Ireland, was there much broadcast of anything from Dracula, Lugosi up through Creature of the Black Lagoon, or your Kongs and your Godzillas, or that wasn't really something that the Irish TV stations would do?
No, it'd be them sort of movies would be played traditionally at Halloween, around Halloween, the same way and it's still like this today. Around Christmas time, you get Christmas movies, and so on and so forth, man. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely no horror hosts over here. There never was, unfortunately. Like I couldn't even name you many from England. It's just, definitely not, man. Definitely not. Like, see, Irish people were behind the times, man. So, do you ever watch an old movie and think, oh, wouldn't it be nice to see what it was like to live back then? Not over here, man. Like 1930s New York looks beautiful. 1930s Dublin, not a nice place.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, without doing too much into by 1930s, my grandparents were already over here. So
yeah, they got the full.
Anyway, so let's do a little bit. We're coming towards doing the announcement, but let's, before we go to the full announcement. So the current slate. So the most recent picture that you kicked around was the Hammer movie production, Curse of Frankenstein.
Yep.
Okay, and next up for the recording that we're doing 2 days from now, Son of Frankenstein, and then so what other Frankenstein pictures are on the slate after Son of Frankenstein?
Okay, so yes, this Friday it's gonna be Son of Frankenstein. Very excited about this one. The following one, which will be the following Friday that we'll be recording. There's a lot of kaiju fans in the Discord, so we're going to be talking about Frankenstein Conquers the World, which is a Toho produced movie. Toho, obviously, Godzilla. Everyone knows who that is. That's gonna be a fun one, man, because the idea of this whole Frankenstein month was to kind of start at like a certain point in film history and end somewhere. But that schedule didn't really go to plan. But this one, it was always going to be there because I feel like the Kaiju episodes get like a lot of people in. So yeah, Frankenstein conquers the world. Have you ever seen that one, Chris?
I've not, but that's part of the fun of it. Like here, right? Because there's so many things out there. Like here, let me zero your focus or narrow your focus to lock in, if you will. Sit down with this picture, give it a watch, and I'll save this for Friday when we're all talking. But as we're speaking of other things, of the comings and goings of grandparents and family members, so I didn't have that on my mind in my previous viewings of Son of Frankenstein. So then, given our chat conversation, the DM conversation earlier in the day, then inadvertently I went into watching Son of Frankenstein with a different eye, with a different lens, with a different mindset. So again, there's always something else you can, like for any, you read a book, you listen to a song, you watch a movie, you can always pick up on something else that you didn't previously pick up on before. So again, that's why some of the movies that we've discussed I have seen, some of them I was a first timer for. So it's an exciting part of the process and part of the journey.
For sure, man. And that's what's great about doing a horror movie podcast. You're not just picking the movies all the time. Like even from the start of my podcast, it was always like I pick a movie, the co-host pick one. So like you're constantly getting introduced to different stuff, and some of the stuff that Brian puts into the Discord, I'm kind of thinking, where is he finding this stuff? And then when we go to review it, I'm like, that is actually really good. Like as a reference it before, but the 97 Odyssey movie that we've reviewed, really, really worth the watch if anyone is after seeing that Christopher Nolan movie. It's great to go back and watch.
Yeah. Chai Star has a question for you, and give as much or as little detail as you care to. Where is Native Randy located?
Native Randy is located in Dublin, Ireland, Chai Star. So when you and Chris come over, and we'll all get the paddy wagon to Galway, and we spend the weekend cracking points at Guinness. Well, like I'm looking forward to that live stream, Chris.
Again, talking about you coming over here, I long for the day where I'll be back over. Brian has to say something in particular besides the Odyssey, or just in general. Brian, please feel free to say some more. I'm trying to discern your question or your message here, Brian. And then just, well, hey, we're not supposed to disclose Fanboy's current location, but anyway, moving on. So again, trying to do some obscure. So there is my library is, again, I very often have things just outside the camera reach. I got a little library, and I know Brian's got an outstanding physical media library. Here it comes, Brian, about Randy's comment about some of the things I put forward. And it's something, no, Brian, you're coming up with these pictures. I never heard. I answered the question, but Randy, go. I mean,
well, I can answer that. Well, another one, Brian, was the Deerslayer. For starters, it was the oldest movie I've ever seen in 1920s. European movie somewhere, and it started like a younger Bela Lugosi. Nobody ever knew Bela Lugosi could act the way he did. So that was another thing that Brian put me onto it. Like a lot of different movies, a lot of different comics, and yeah, like he's I call him the encyclopedia of the podcast, and he wears the name well. Hope that answers that, Brian.
And then is this new? Yeah. Okay, so now we're up to card. So again, coming around, dropping a little pieces of clues there. So speaking about the library, I am waiting for the future to get the actual hard copy, the physical copy. But just earlier today, I ordered off of Barnes and Noble. So the book is called It's Alive, and the author is Julian David Stone, and this came out in 2024. He's been doing a bit of a book tour. Let's see, Chai Star is saying, fanboys at home yelling, no. Fanboys always calling, no. Okay. So It's Alive is a book by Julian David Stone. Somewhat, there are some historically accurate pieces, but it's also a work of fiction, and it's speculative at the time after Dracula was filmed, and as the 1932, 31, 32, the first Frankenstein, the Boris Karloff Frankenstein was coming to be filmed, like what was going on behind the scenes. And so I look forward to, again, part of the book, diving into that and getting. Have you come across the book in any format as yet, or would it be something future project for you?
Yeah, no, I haven't came across that yet, man. But I would be looking into it though.
But there is a certain person who tours the conventions, sitting right next to and live streaming while they're there, while they're doing autograph signings with Julian David Stone. So, Randy, if you're ready, please feel free to comment. And here, but before you do that, let me do this. Let me trade spots with you, and let me give you the full. Oh, look, there's you in the background too.
Okay, so yeah, Chris knows about this a while. A few people in the Discord knows I've been trying to get Antonia Carletta onto the show. If you're not familiar with her, she's the great niece of Carl Lemley, and this episode is gonna be, if all goes well, this episode is gonna be fucking huge. We've a stacked panel. We're talking about the son of Frankenstein. Mr. C is gonna be there. Troy Star might be there. We might get everyone onto this panel. This is going to be a big episode. Antonia Carletta, she's a YouTuber. She's a film historian. As Chris said, she's basically on a circuit of all of these conventions and panels. So she's a very busy woman. And if all goes well, I'm really appreciated if she does come on to the show. It's very exciting stuff. I wasn't ever really one for interviewing actors or filmmakers or anything like that, but I feel like she just makes sense for the Graveyard Club because we constantly reference Universal, constantly reference like the classic period of horror. So having Carol Lemley's great niece basically on the show, it's going to be a big one, and it's going to be great to hear from her perspective because obviously it's embedded in her family, and obviously we'll get to find out about maybe if she knows anything about how the family ended up losing Universal. It's going to be an interesting episode. What I want to talk to you a little bit, Chris, about, but maybe more so off air, is how we're going to structure this, because it's not an interview, but it's definitely not going to be a traditional review episode. So yeah, if your guys are around the weekend, head over to my channel and you'll hear Chris, Antonia Carletta. It's going to be a big one. I'm very excited.
And let me also promote. So the very day after we record, which is this coming Friday. So right now it's Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you're at on which side of midnight you're at. So okay, so Friday the 7th, and then on Saturday the 8th, it's at the it's a horror con that's in California. I already lost which exact township it's in, but Antonia and the author of It's Alive will be doing a live stream from there. So again, she's got a full schedule, and we're just appreciative of the possibility of her coming around. That is good. Now, as a nuance point, like we said, there's certain just nuances that give the thing the personality. We had to figure out that the time shift is different in the United States compared to Ireland. It's also the son of Frankenstein, unless I'm wrong, and I'm often making mistakes. The Son of Frankenstein is the first movie that Universal released after the original Lamely family left Universal.
Yeah,
so for the conversation about a Universal movie, for the first time, or for the time that Miss Carlotta Antonia would come around, then we're all going to be speaking on the movie that came out after her family exited the studio.
Yeah, like to the point where I was like, maybe I should change the maybe I should change the movie. But I don't think she. If you check out her content, she goes through that whole age of the Universal monster. So it's I think we're okay, Chris. You know, but it's just like it's gonna be exciting to have her in the Discord, like, because that's we're gonna record the show on Friday. So exciting times, man. You know, like I feel like the podcast views and everything is just going up. I think it's one of the best it's one of the best couple of months the channel's ever had. So I have to give a shout out to Chris, Zontar, Brian, Croy Dragon, Fame Without a Face, Toynton, so Phoebe. I could be
Derek,
forgetting.
Joe, Derek from the Monster Kid podcast. Joe,
of course, Joe.
Joe might only come around the one time, but he was dropping some gems.
Yeah, and everyone in the Discord that's been liking the videos and sharing and all whatnot, like, you know what I mean. I really appreciate that stuff, and I feel like the last couple of months has definitely been it's keeping me going, Chris. You know what I mean? I'm motivated to do more here, man. And I've been watching your streams lately, and I thinking to myself, I might try it one of the days. I kind of want to get over this Son of Frankenstein episode first, and then maybe put my focus on things. So maybe off air, Chris, you could maybe not today, but like when I'm closer to setting up my stream, I'm gonna use StreamYard, so you can give me a few pointers while I'm setting it up. That
I'll
could be
helpful, more than happy to contribute. And again, as we're almost at an hour mark now, so let me ask you. We'll definitely chat a little bit after we end the stream. But so again, I encourage people, be it Spotify, be it YouTube, whatever your preferred method of watching the Graveyard Club podcast is, then look forward to sometime soon after this Friday for the edited, dropped in its entirety conversation. Look forward to that. And then, do you have any other closing comments before we end the live stream, Randy?
Yeah. When this stream is being uploaded, I'm going to drop a link in the comments to the Discord. It's an 18+ Discord server that you can join, full of kaiju horror fans. And to answer your question, Troy Star, my fourth stream could be coming up this week. But if you're talking about me and Chris on the one live stream, who knows? Whenever Mr. C gives me the call. But my final closing comments though, Chris. To join the Discord, I appreciate everyone showing support over there. Shout out to Choice Star, Brian, everyone who's watching. Shout out to Orla as well. And yeah, and Chris, shout out to you, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Well, that's great. And let's just be clear. So, right, the name of the Discord, I'm not sure we said it specifically, but the name of the Discord is not the Graveyard Club podcast. The name is Classic Horror Fans.
Home to a bunch of gentlemen, comedians. It's a great spot. Like it is really fun over there.
Man, let me tell you, as we're winding down right now, let me tell you, Dave Fuentes, aka Terror Dave, has one of the outstanding blogs. Mainly, well, I shouldn't even say mainly, but a lot of Svengoolie coverage, but also a lot of years, a lot of words, a lot of pictures covering horror things, all related. So it's great to have Dave in the comments section.
Thanks, Dave.
And appreciate his taking a look. Can we add the link? Yeah, well, I'm not always the best because I'm all live this, live that, but yeah, absolutely. I'll put the link in the comments for Graveyard Club podcast, and if I can figure out the Discord, I'll get that in there too. That being said, thanks to everybody in the comments, from Chai Star to Terror Dave to Brian to Svengoolie News Times and Animals and Legos. I'm not sure we gave a fair representation of your obscure question of is yellow a cat, but let's say we do like to do cliffhangers, so perhaps in the future we'll be able to resolve is yellow a cat. I'm going to go ahead and hit end stream, and then Randy and I will banter around a little bit more. Catch you soon on the Graveyard Club podcast, and we are out.